Hi, on this edition of Ken Dixon's Audio Archive, you're going to hear a recording from my radio show on WCWS in Wooster, Ohio, College of Wooster, from February 6th, 1983. And you can see it says Casey, which is what I was called in my family, and Rob's Jerry Special. What was going on that week was really pretty interesting. I was the concerts chairperson, student activities board chairperson for concerts, and the guy that ran the show, I won't say his name because who knows, I mean, slander, even if he's senile at this point, because he sort of was then. He had nixed the first two concerts I had proposed to him. First one was Stray Cats, which would have been their debut American tour. I was a fan from their British release because I collected Dave Edmunds, who produced their initial recordings. And that one I half understood. Nobody knew who the hell Stray Cats were yet. But when the concert would have happened, instead of the $2,000 I was quoted, they were getting $10,000 a night, and Rock This Town was rocking MTV. Second rejected show was Joe Jackson. Joe had, had a nice hit with Is She Really Going Out With Him and all that off the Look Sharp album. Kind of bombed with the album after that. I liked it. I've liked most of his albums, but anyhow, he was on a career downturn, and the tour would have been for the Night and Day album, which again, at the time of the show, would have cost more money, and MTV was, playing, stepping out quite a bit. So anyhow, the third concert before I resigned that I proposed was Jerry Garcia with John Kahn, an acoustic tour they were doing. And I'll never forget, I was asleep in Crandall House, and this was back in the day there was one telephone at the end of the hallway, and it rang and rang and rang and rang at early in the morning. It was a guy from Monarch Productions who called and woke me up to offer me the date. I'd been bugging him for give me the dad or give me Jerry ever since I assumed the role of chairperson. And that gets to the crux of the issue. None of these concerts happened. When I got the job, the person that ran the student activities board, he said, "Yeah, go work through this guy. He's who we book all our concerts through." And they also had in the office all these entertainment resource guides and networking books, and so I started calling up agencies that were booking bands I cared about, and started getting quotes for shows, and lo and behold, they'd always be more expensive through the guy who the SAB director was pressuring me to go through. So it was all about, money and pathways of, friendships and relationships. You literally told me, we can trust this guy to book a show for us, but we can't trust the artist's booking agent directly. Some of my earliest, harshest lessons in how the business world works, even in the education sector. So, bottom line is, we didn't get Jerry Garcia. The big campus outcry, did a petition thing, hundreds of people signed it, ended up on the front page of the newspapers making this face, like, when I resigned, and people wrote letters to the editor supporting. Some dude wrote a letter, saying Ken Dixon's using the Wooster Voice for his own personal gain. Shoot, the paper was run by the young Republicans. They just were covering free speech and what was happening. So, anyhow, I found a bunch of those clips in our newspaper articles, and you'll see them, and hear Rob MacWilliams and myself introing and outroing. You're not going to hear any music because you can hear the music in better quality, but the stupid college radio banner and the historical reference. Also, Rob MacWilliams, Mount St. Helens was about to blow, and he was a geology major, so he talks a bit about that, and we talk about California falling off into the ocean, and hasn't happened yet, people. So anyhow, enjoy this February 6th, 1983. My show was normally called Flashbacks, so apropos, this one was called the Jerry Garcia Special. Enjoy.
Dead was St. Stephen, and it's from the album Moxa Moxa. Ahead of that, we had outtakes from that album, and it was a version with cellos, which was rejected, but it's still a pretty cool one. And ahead of that, we had the Chipmunks doing St. Stephen. Actually, it was just the Dead at 78, but it was close enough. And then by request for Wilbur, we heard Ruben and Sharice. It's 9:48 right now on WCWS, and Rob MacWilliams, the geo jerk he is, found this on the AP wire, or UPI wire, and he wants to make sure everyone knows that California is going to be falling into the sea. And well, you better tell the weather, too, all right?
Okay, I'll start off with the weather. Ohio's weather will be boring tonight. It's nothing exciting is happening. Everything's been canceled. The storm that was coming through here is going too fast. The freezing rain is also minimal, and there'll be no snow. But it's snowing outside, so that's unpredictable. But this is the most important thing here. Tonight at 9:21 our time, and that's 6 hours difference back California, or 4 hours. What is it for? Whatever it is. Okay. Well, the USGS says that Mount St. Helens may erupt violently sometime in this coming week. There's been changes in the clouds and ash that have been coming up, and volcano will have a violent eruption sometime this week. Now, I don't know what this means. They said this for like 2 years before it actually did last time, but this could be interesting, and California could lose its fault. That's San Andreas' fault, of course.
Whose fault is it?
It's not my fault, Ken.
I think it's Mad Dog's fault.
Well, that's where Jerry lives, you know. Jerry lives out in San Andreas.
Are you going to tell him to move?
I'd like to tell him.
Let's all give him the final chord, and maybe he'll get the message.
Well, he was coming out here. Remember that?
Oh yeah. See, Hal, you could have saved Jerry's life if you had let him come here.
If Jerry dies, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, wait,
it's
Ken.
It's your fault. That'll be riding on your shoulders
Let's like talk to Katrina.
Katrina? Is she here still?
Yes, she's down here, right here.
What's she doing on the floor?
And what are you doing on the floor, Katrina?
Is she under the desk in there?
No, she's not under the desk. Here, say something about...
Well, I'll tell you, since California's going to be falling off, maybe we should just, I don't know, give it a last fling. Oh, Katrina wants to talk. Sorry, you're not from California. You can't talk. All right, well, since she's spacing, we're just going to play the song we're going to. Well,
commercial.
Goodbye, California.
92 FM, WCWS, Wooster, Ohio.
And you're listening to a Jerry Garcia special. We just heard the Jefferson Starship with a whole bunch of tunes there. We start off with Home, Have You Seen the Stars Tonight, XM and Starship. And Garcia played on that album, which was the first incarnation of the band Starship. And David Crosby was in there, and a whole bunch of other people from the whole Californian scene. Ahead of that, we had from Garcia's first album, we had The Wheel in an Odd Little Place. And what did we hear from Dead Set, Rob? Do you remember?
That was
Space.
Oh yeah, Space and the Fire in the Mountain. Yeah, that was good.
And then from Deadheads Only, which is
Capitol.
Capitol Theater.
1978. What a concert! I was there.
You were not.
I was too, Ken.
You just have the record.
I have a tattoo on my stomach from that place.
All right. We heard Shakedown Street from there.
It does.
And long time ago, we heard Alligator by request. And that was for Tracy. Rob found out it was one of his friends. He's really embarrassed now. And
you know, it's funny because I'm in another room right now and I can't see Ken. I can see the top of his head.
I can see the top of his head too.
And Pudge is here too.
Pudge and DeLange's here.
DeLange and Katrina's here. Yeah. We're having a party up here. If anybody wants to come by and listen to some Dead with us and
just hang out,
have a good time, stop by.
Yeah, just you bring along, come as you are. If you get the idea.
Yeah, Ken, what do we have on next?
Well, we should probably play an ad. Why don't you grab one with an orange sticker there, Jim?
Jim's here too.
Yeah, DeLange's helping out. What we're going to do after we hear this message is hear some Bob Dylan compositions that either Garcia or the Dead have done.
Yeah, it seems that Jerry does admire Bob.
Yeah,
whereas if you think about it, Bob Weir
admires. Goodbye, Rob.
This is Ann McDonald from Every Woman's House. Every Woman's House has evening drop-in hours from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So
counseling is available during these times. Please feel free to drop in if you are a survivor of domestic violence. You have the right to be safe.
It's knocking on heaven's door. From the Warlocks, which is really the Grateful Dead, and that's from 1965. We heard Early Morning Rain, and then we heard 3 Jerry tunes, really Dylan tunes, Positively 4th Street, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, and Knocking on Heaven's Door. It's 9:32 right now, and Billy Hinchman just came to the studio, and he wants to tell Bonnie to turn over the tape to keep it going. And who else have we got here who's new? Miriam's walking out, and Bagel. And she's looking for some locks.
Don't be scared, Topher.
Topher, for once, is shutting his mouth. Isn't it amazing?
Yay!
Alrighty, but we're going to come back after this message with a request for from, I guess, let's call him his proper name for once, Steve Williams.
I might be saving my buddy's life. That's him sleeping on my couch. I said, Teddy, no way you're driving home. You had too much to drink. He said, a couple of beers, give me some coffee. I said, Teddy, 9 beers. That could be like 9 mixed drinks, and coffee's not going to sober you up. Park yourself here. I finally convinced him. I hid his car keys. Sleeping Beauty's going to have some head in the morning, but I'm going to feel terrific.
Friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message on behalf of the U.S. Department of Transportation.
From Garcia's 1977 album, Cats Under the Stars, this is Reuben Insurance.